Now we are looking at the Itertools module in Python, and it has a function called permutations. This is what we are looking at in this HackerRank coding challenge. We have a brief visualization here with this sample code of how it works. We use the permutations function to permutate a list or a collection of items. Let's say we have this list here, and we want to permutate these so that we have a different sets or a different order. We can pass this to the permutations function like this here, and this will print us 1, 2, 3, and then a different order of the items 1, 3, 2, and then 2, 1, 3, and so on. So we have a permutation of the original list. We can also specify the length of the permutations. So here, even though we have 1, 2, 3, these are 3 items, we want the permutations to be of size 2. So in here, when we pass it, we add a second parameter, which is 2 here. And now when we print this, we have 1, 2, only 2 items, then 1, 3, then another permutation, 2, 1, and then 2, 3, and so on. We can pass a full string like this, ABC, and we specify we want to maintain a permutation of length 3. So the permutations will each have 3 elements in them, ABC separated letter by letter, and then ACB and all that. In this coding challenge, we have a string called S, and we need to print all the possible permutations of size K of the string in lexicographic sorted order. This means that if we have an input like this, notice we don't have 2 arguments or 2 parameters, we only have 1 line of inputs. So the whole thing, if we grab this, will be a string. It is up to us to divide this or separate them by the first part, which is the word, and the second part here, which is supposed to be an integer corresponding to the length of the permutations. Now, when they talk about the order, which is lexicographic, notice here we have AC and then AH. So AC is lower than AH because C comes before H and K comes after H. So now it's AK. So this is the order that they are referring to. Now, if we look at my solution here, it's very simple. At first, I import the permutation function from the Itertools module. Then I split the inputs in 2 parts. So I split them by space, meaning that when I get this input here, the first part is the word hack, and the second part will be the value of K, what they're referring to here, K. So what I want to do is grab the first part, which is index 0 in the input that I split, because this will return me a list. So index 0 is the first part, which is the word, and index 1 is the value of K, and I convert that to an integer, and I'm calling it N. But of course, you could call this K if you want, if it's easier for you to understand. I'm switching this to K, so I need to update it in my code here. Now I need to pass my word and the length of my permutations to the permutations function. So the first argument here is the word, second argument is the length, K. I pass that to my permutations, but then I need to convert that to a list. Now that I have a list of permutations, I need to sort that list in lexicographic order. So to do this, I can pass or wrap my whole list here inside of the built-in sorted function in Python. This will give you a new list. So in terms of auxiliary space, it is not the most efficient, but it is effective enough for this coding challenge. So now that I have a sorted list of permutations, I can print every item inside of my for loop. But notice that when you pass something to the permutations function, like a string here, it will give you a permutation letter by letter. What I want is to print the strings like they have here, AC, AH, and all that. They are new strings printed line by line. So the print function here in this for loop will print line by line, but I need to join the individual letters back to a string. And I don't want to join them with spaces. This is without any space, so they become a string like this here. So this is the whole solution. Let me run this code. This works. So now let's submit this code. And we've passed all the test cases. So that was permutations in Python for HackerRank. If you like my solution, please subscribe and stay tuned for more Python solutions.